Hello everybody, welcome back to Illustrator. We're going to start Chapter 2. In Chapter 2 we're going to be working with text and also gradients. So obviously make sure Illustrator is open, and then we're going to open, and we need to find this file right here, AI2-1, and we're going to open that. Now there isn't really anything in this file, and that's okay, but we're going to add some text. So actually before we do that even, we need to go into View and make sure we hide the bounding box. If it says Show Bounding Box, that's what you want. If it were showing it, we'd need to click on Hide. So make sure that says Show Bounding Box. Now we're going to add some text and click. So select the text tool, click anywhere, and we're going to type berry. I know it's kind of hard to see because it's so small, but we're going to type berry in all caps. Then click on the selection tool, and we're going to drag the text to approximately in the middle of the artboard right there. And we're going to go to Window, and Type, and then Character. That's going to show our character panel right here. Then once we have our character panel open, you may have to click on these panel options buttons right here. This is what we want it to look like. If you click on it again, it may disappear. It may go back to the way it was at the beginning. But if you click on that, it's going to show all these different options. Okay, then we're going to go into the font family, maybe. And we want Times New Roman. You may also be able to just type it in there. But we want Times New Roman. So click on that. And we want it to be regular. And we want the font size to be 142. 142, and then press Enter. Then we're going to change the horizontal scale to 90, just like that. If you typed 90, you may have to press Enter. I'm actually going to move it back over here to the center, and then we can click off it to deselect all. Alright, next we are going to make sure the selection tool is selected, and we want to select the text. As you can see, there's a blue line underneath it indicating it's selected. Going back to the character panel, this is the tracking section. We're actually going to click in there, and we're going to type -30. So it changes the tracking to -30. We're going to go back over here and click on the type tool again. And we're going to put the cursor between the B and the E. Okay, with the cursor blinking in there, we're going to change the value of something called the kerning. We're going to change the kerning between the characters. So we're actually first just going to experiment with this. If you click on that a lot, it kind of adjusts the spacing a little bit in between there. Not really a huge deal. We're actually just going to end up changing this to -40. And then clicking between the E and the R, we're going to change the kerning to -20. we're going to leave it between the two R's, we're going to leave it at 0. Then between the R and the Y, we're going to change it to -120. So as you can see, not a huge deal, but that is something that you can adjust. Okay, then go back to the selection tool, and now we're going to go to the paragraph panel. And these are different alignment buttons. We're going to align center. Okay, if it takes it off the page like that, you may want to adjust it again. That will align center. Then we're going to go to Object and Hide and Selection. And that makes our text go away. Okay, next we're going to go back over to the text tool. If you click and hold, we can go down to the vertical type tool. So click on that, and then click anywhere on the artboard. We're again going to type the word berry. Go back to the selection tool, and we're going to drag this down to the center of the artboard, just like that. Okay, go back to the character panel. We're going to change the font size to 84. We're going to change the tracking value to -160. And we're going to change the horizontal and vertical scales to 100. So that one's already at 100, then we're good to go. And then deselect the text. And then the last thing, we're actually going to delete this text. Just click on the delete key, save your work. It should be saved in your H drive. And we are done with that one. Okay, next we need to find this file AI2-2. We're going to open it, and we're immediately going to do a file save as. I'm going to create a folder called Chapter 2 Work, and we're going to save it as Diamond Text. Okay, we're going to select the yellow square and double click the rotate tool, type 45, and then OK. Then we need to find the area type tool, and we're simply going to click on the block of text. Go to select all, and we're going to copy the text. So you can go to edit, copy, or you use Control-C, either one. Click the selection tool, select the yellow square, and we need the area type tool, so click on that. And then click the edge of the yellow square. So the fill color is gone, and we put some text in there. And now we're going to paste. Again, you can go to edit, paste, or use Control-V, either one. But the text that was over here is now inside the square. Okay, next, make sure the area text tool is still selected, and we're going to triple click, boom, boom, boom. It's going to select everything here. Go to the paragraph panel, and we're going to center align that text. Go back to the character panel. We're going to change the font size to 9. Okay, then we're going to change the leading here to 11. Go to the selection tool, and when we click on this diamond shaped text, it's also going to select the diamond that it's in, and we're going to copy it. And then go to Window and go to AI 2-1, so it takes us back to the one that said Barry, although it's not on there anymore. And we're going to paste it. So now that object is in here. And then we need to make sure our guides are visible, so show guides. And we're going to move this so that it is centered directly onto those guides, or at least very close. You can use the right and left arrow keys if necessary to get it right on there. Okay, then go to Object, Lock, Selection. We're going to close this without saving it. And then this one we're actually going to save as. And we're going to call it Berry Symposium. And click Save. Okay, next we need to make sure the ellipse tool is selected. And then if you press Alt and click right in the middle, it's going to ask us what we want here. We want 2.9 as both the width and the height. And then click OK. And then we want the Type on a Path tool selected. And we want Align Left selected. Then we're going to click the edge of the circle at approximately 10 o'clock. And we're going to type 3 rivers, like that. Click the selection tool to select the text. We need to make sure it's Times New Roman. We're going to change the font size to 47. Just like that. Okay, we need to do a couple of things to our text here. Number one, we're going to change the tracking to 25. Actually, that's really the only thing we need to do. You could also adjust its center by messing with that, but changing the tracking seems to do the trick. Make sure it's still selected. We're going to edit and copy it. And then we're going to paste in front. And after we've pasted it, we're going to use the center bracket. And if you click and drag it around like that, we now have 3 rivers on the top and the bottom. Okay, you have to look closely, but there's another center bracket that's located right here. If we click on that and move up towards the center of the circle, it's going to go on the inside of the circle. We're then going to change this baseline shift to -21. That's going to put it on the outside here. Go back to the Type tool, and we're going to select that, and we're going to type Symposium. You may need to adjust the tracking and kerning a little bit to make it look right. I just wanted to make sure that it's centered. Mine looks pretty good. And if you're good to go, then you can save it.